Okay, everyone ready? Okay, Renju, walk in. Nathan, walk in.
Hi.
Record here.
Hi, Tasha.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Hey, Renju.
Hey,
How's it going?
good, how are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
Start off, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Renju Koshi.
My name is Nathan Burgess.
I am Tasha Cherian.
I do work as a mortgage advisor for CIBC.
I'm 23 years old. I work as a software consultant.
So I went to school thinking I was going to be a pharmacist. And then through that, I ended up realizing that pharmacy is not meant for me.
In my past, I have worked as an entrepreneur as well, owning different businesses.
I then got out of school and I had a really hard time trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I got into recruitment. From recruitment, I moved into project management. From project management, I got into specifically payments technology and service delivery. And then from there, I've gone into consulting. So I do management consulting. And now I'm doing a fashion business, my own fashion business.
Wow, so you're an entrepreneur.
I am an entrepreneur.
Do you see yourself as an achiever?
So, no.
I would definitely say I think I'm ambitious. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an achiever just because I think it's, I don't know, maybe a little presumptuous, but I would say I'm motivated in my career at least, and that's something I work for a lot.
My ambition was always to become an entrepreneur and keep going on that journey of being, doing different businesses.
I always thought that things needed to be achieved by a certain time. I needed to hit an age. By a certain age, you needed to be married, have a career, buy a house, buy a car.
But what has happened over the past couple of years is giving God an insight to what I want to have, what I want to be, but more importantly, taking a step into what He wants things to be done His way.
So I'm no longer a planner. So when you now consider me an achiever, I was like, wow, I guess I normally would associate myself as the planner, but through the work that I've done over the last 4 years, now that it's 2024, I've actually now become more of somebody that's just given up control altogether and just given it to God.
So what does living last mean to you?
Put others before yourself when their desires, their needs in relation to your own in any given moment.
Giving on to others before you selfishly start reflecting on your needs.
So I think living last is really living a life of service. So if you put God first and really learn to put yourself in the back seat, if God is leading your life, then you will serve others.
Would you say that the living last that she mentioned, does it come naturally to you now, or is it easy? Is it difficult?
I feel like saying it's easy to be humble is not humble, but at the same time, I think for me, the way I practice humility is to recognize that nothing has ever happened from my own doing.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge for me initially.
Everyone has their own ways in which they struggle differently than other people, and for me, I think mine is like sharing certain things.
It is becoming a lot more easier for me to go through the whole living last situation, only because I've gone through a lot of difficult situations in my life and through a lot of trialing times where I've noticed that these are things that were done on my time and my selfish nature, and now I've noticed that giving God that place in my life makes a big difference.
I think I felt in a way kind of like, oh, but I'm a good person, like I deserve this. I've been a good person my whole life. Why is this happening to me? The victim mentality.
Being humble and actually going through humility without you crumbling is a big task on its own.
So when I learned to silence my ego and focus on, okay, well, what value can I bring to somebody else's life? How can I help other people? When I get more, how do I bring other people up to be with me? How do I teach the next generations?
How do you reconcile your personal ambitions with surrendering to God's will?
I think it's really important to keep yourself in check and think about, why do I push myself? Is the output of my work going to go back to God in a meaningful way, or is it just going to go back to feeding my own desires and wants?
Your identity gets associated to what you do for work, and I know what it's like to be in the Malayali community, in the Marthama church, and that competitive nature, and I want to show people that you don't have to be that way. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an engineer. Sure, I was supposed to go become a pharmacist, but I think I recognized that I needed to live God's plan.
So praying before I make a decision is a huge thing for me. So prayer has definitely helped me a lot in not getting diverted, but more staying on path of what He wants me to do.
So is that easy or difficult for you to do that reflection, to ensure that God's plan takes precedence in your life?
I think it's something that I had to learn to do because it doesn't come naturally. You don't think of it as something that you need to do. I mean, growing up, you're kind of just taught to have this, mentality, I need to work hard so I can make something of myself, and you don't think about how that process might change you down the line. Everything from the opportunity that God placed before me to the ability to act on the opportunity, that's all been God-given all along the way, so I can never say that it was of my own works.
It's taken me years to get here, but having the right people around you make a really big difference.
Being part of a church community and having accountability partners in church really helps you grow your faith. I've seen Christians come together and non-Christians as well come together, and that transformative power, which I can't describe, is amazing to see how everything comes into one perspective to achieve that one goal.
Do you have any advice for any other achievers out there?
So start with the Bible. It's a textbook. It teaches you. So when you have issues, go and reference the Bible. There's so many answers in the Bible.
A verse that helps me lean on faith is this from 1 John 3:17. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need, but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? So pretty much what this reflects is our world is longing for that love and the compassionate love, and it's just that if we're not able to give them and provide for them, why are we called to be Christians? That's what I usually ask myself.
Luke 9:25, which says, "For what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses himself?" It doesn't matter where you are in your journey. If you're at a point in your journey where the journey is starting to change you, then it's been for nothing.
The verse is, don't worry. Don't worry for today, for tomorrow has its own worries. And I had to read that. I had so much anxiety. I had so much stress. I was just a stress ball. I was always worried about, oh my God, this wasn't going to work out. Oh my God, if I don't do this, this isn't going to happen. And I think that verse just really got me to focus on today. God is able to take care of everything. Why wouldn't He take care of you too? My sister would always say, God will speak to you, but you have to be silent and you have to listen. You will be surprised. The doors that open, some of the craziest things happen to me, and there's no other way than saying that it's God. Thanks, Roshni. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Journey, entrepreneurial, yeah.
Cut that, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh, okay.
Can I do a quick? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tasha. Oh crap, was I supposed to say Tasha Chariot? Okay, wait.
Here, Roshni, why don't you ask her?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
what's her name?
Like, introduce yourself.